Hi friends, and welcome back to Lily's reading. Today we're going to do a general love reading for all the earth zodiac signs. So for those of you who don't know, the earth zodiac signs are the Taurus, Virgo, and the Capricorn. And the way that I do my reading is this pile is going to be the Taurus, this pile is going to be for Virgo, and then this pile right here is going to be for the Capricorn, which I do know that you might not be able to see all of them in the camera, so I will be holding up the cards so you guys can see them. The way I also do my reading is I read everything intuitively, so I invite all of you to read them your way as well, and just, take the message as it resonates and take what is for you and leave the rest for whoever, needs to hear it. So in the back, I will be using the Romance Oracle deck, which is the back. In the front, I will be using the Hidden Truth Oracle cards, and in the pink cards I am going to be using the Tarot of the Gentle Dawn, which I will be clarifying a lot of my cards using the Light Seers Tarot right here. They're really wonderful cards. They're always my go-to. Yes, I've been, I've worked at the shop for many years, and I've also used all of these cards as well, and so they're just really lovely cards, and I absolutely love them and respect them. So let's dive in and see where we go from here. Taurus, automatically, so I don't forget, we are, I see a lot of, I see earth, I see air, I see the world in here. And so with all of this being said, you guys can be dealing with, yourself as the earth sign or another earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We also have the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius in here, and then we have the world, and that also is the Sagittarius. Okay, so with the Romance Angel, we do have Release Your Ex. So some of you might be hanging on to your ex and, not knowing if you should let them go and start living your life. And for here, it says the time has come to clear your energy. So it's just saying, it's time to release. A lot of you, if you're clinging to something, a dream that is never going to happen, or you've been waiting a very long time, it's time to come to the realization that it's not going to happen. Okay, and it doesn't mean that your ex is not going to circle back, but you got to start living your life too. Now here you do have a message, and the message, and I always say, right, that these messages can be something that your person wants to say to you, or it's something that you're hiding inside that you need to tell your person. Take it as it resonates again, but it says, I love you unconditionally. I wish I had treated you better. All right, so now that being put with it's time to release your ex, it just seems like things weren't working to where, now let's get to the good stuff. At the bottom, we see the Three of Pentacles and we see the Six of Swords. It's like maybe one of you are working on a plan. I feel like someone is working on a plan. They're actually getting in their boat and they're leaving. So maybe you are working on releasing your ex. Maybe you are working on moving away from this situation, is what this feels. And then we have the World and the Two of Pentacles, where the world is like, we're done. We're closing this chapter. We are now going to work on balancing ourselves, because when I look at the Two of Pentacles, I always look in the background, and it seems like, the water is choppy. There are two boats that just were not meant to be together, and therefore every time the water pushes you guys together, you're crashing into each other, and it's an awful feeling to where it's time to take charge and it's time to start balancing your own life. All right, so I feel like, with that being said, a lot of you are doing a lot of work on yourself to where you're starting to realize that this is not working for you. So spirit guides and angels, please give us more to this story. And I always ask for a little bit more, and then I will ask for the advice in hopes that, whoever needs to hear this message will take the advice. Spirit guides and angels, give us a little bit more, please, to this story. See, I love when they jump out on their own versus me pulling them out. But even when they jump out, that indicates to me, okay, now it's time for me to pull out the rest of the cards. So a little bit more to this story is you guys are having a wake-up call because you're not sleeping well, or you're taking the brunt of a certain situation. Now, when I look at the Four of Swords, it shows like, you know, 4 is the number of stability, right? But it shows that this is what you need. You need stability because you're not sleeping well. All right. Now, if you look, like I said, I read everything intuitively, but if you do look in the, you know, tarot book of the Four of Swords, it's going to tell you that there's stability, that you're sleeping better, things are going great, right? But I feel like that will happen when you decide to move. So right now, what I'm feeling is you're not sleeping well. I feel like you're taking the brunt of a certain situation, to where the judgment comes with the wake-up call. It's leveling up, it's knowing, it's keeping yourself open, it's seeking answers, maybe in your own religion, the spiritual awakening. You know, the King of Cups is you're stuck in your emotions, very much likely stuck in your emotions because you're afraid. The, you know, King of Cups, he's scrying into his card, and he's scrying into his bowl, and he is afraid to see what the future is holding. But you're also coming to the realization that if you don't move, you're going to stay exactly where you are, and it's telling you that this is not going to work. So spirit guides and angels, what is your advice that you are giving to the Taurus? If this is you, please do write claim in the comments, or, you know, even going through the rest of the readings and you guys find that this is you, or this is, you know, cross watches as well, then write claim. And if you want to share your story, please do. I always read everything, and I thank all of you for watching, sharing, saving, commenting. I love it all right? So here is the advice. Spirit is telling you, right? Remember, I told you, doesn't mean that your person's not going to circle back around, but it is time for you to let go. It is time for you to fully let go. I feel like a lot of you could also be in a third party situation where maybe you really want to find that love, or you really come to love, you know, the other person other than the person that you're actually supposed to be with. One of them, it doesn't matter, one of them you're gonna have to release. You have to stop lying to yourself and stop lying to your partner as well, because with the 9 of Wands, it just shows that you keep revisiting the same situation that brings it into a battle. 9 of Wands is always a battle. It's like the return, but it seems like it's a battle. And you see with the 6 of Swords, it's choppy waters, right? So the advice that Spirit is telling you is that it's time for you to release something that you're, you know, that is no longer deserving of you. It's time for you to start to move forward instead of revisiting choppy waters. Because the 3 of Wands, if you keep waiting, you're going to be waiting forever. She's, you know, she has that surfboard in her hand, and she wants to take the swim out there to ride the right wave, but she's waiting to see what right wave is better for her. You're never going to know unless you actually do it, is what Spirit is saying. All right, so I'm going to leave this message right here, and we are going to jump into the Virgo. Virgo, I have no idea what is going on, but let's see, because one card up here says flirt. Now, extend your lighthearted energy to others, all right? So it's telling you to flirt. I take it, there's a lot of you guys that are single. I don't know why I just heard the word free. So maybe you're looking at single as in being free, you know, but and a lot of you could also be afraid of seeing what's out there, but you want to know what's out there. You're curious to see what's out there. And so Spirit is telling you to flirt. You're not going to know unless you flirt. Or there's someone that you're interested in, but it might be a stalemate right now because you don't know how to go about the situation. So you guys are kind of like ignoring each other. So quietness, you know, kind of separates the both of you, to where Spirit is saying, like, maybe you want to be the one to, you know, put yourself first and start to flirt. So this is the message that comes to you guys, and it's either your person wants to tell this to you or you want to say this to your person. But it says, I lost myself for a little while, and we both know I am not the one for you. So there's something that's going on where someone is doubting a certain situation, right? Someone lost themselves, and when they lose themselves, they could have lost themselves in family, they could have lost themselves in work, they could have lost themselves in anything other than you, to where they're saying, like, I've lost myself because I'm not interested, or we both know that this isn't going to work. So maybe you also are hanging on to someone, and you know, it's like both parties know that this is not working, so it's okay for you to start flirting with other people. Now the King of Pentacles is a earth sign, so that's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You could be dealing with, you know, someone, it could be yourself, or this could also be someone within the, you know, the earth signs. We do have the air here, which is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and then we have the fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Then we have the Fool, which is the Aquarius. These are all the ones that you could be dealing with. If not, like I say, put the energy to where it goes, and please, please, please let me know if like you claim this. I'm always interested in everybody's story. So let's jump in. King of Pentacles is someone who is, they're busy working, they're busy at work, they're, you know, a leader of their own. They are, you know, more importantly, they're checking in on their finances. And they're just exhausted with the Ten of Swords. This person, they feel betrayed, they are exhausted, they feel like they're giving up. So, I mean, even at the King of Pentacles, like they're secure in what they want, but they also feel like giving up at the same time. Now, what they feel like giving up, is it giving up on this relationship that they're in? Maybe they just feel like it's not working out for them, like it's not doing anything for them. I don't know. That's why I always say I'm always interested in your story to see where this, you know, fits. So the Seven of Wands is, it's like someone that has a set of skills, someone that, you know, wands are, it's about, what are wands? Wands are more the creativity part, but when I see someone waving this big, huge wand around, it's like they want to give something another chance. They want to see and they want to try with all their might to set some magic. And so maybe it's someone who is feeling like they're exhausted, but it's also the energy of someone like wanting to give it one more chance before they end up going on their own journey. So maybe this is the last of a relationship, is what I'm feeling, because the Fool is taking your own journey. It's getting to know yourself, getting to see what's out there, flirting with other people that are out there. So I also say, right, if there is no label in your relationship and you're stuck, well, whatever, go flirt. Like, who cares what the other person is thinking? They didn't put a label on it. You've been waiting. That's just my, you know, attitude towards this. You could think something else, but I feel like this is like the end. You're waiting for maybe closure. There's something that you want or something that you need to prove to yourself before you say, okay, I've done everything that I could possibly do. Now it is time for me to move on. Spirit guides and angels, give us a little bit more to this story, please. One more. So these did fall out in reverse, and what I do is I have the Hangman, and it's the Hangman when it's, you know, upright. It's someone who's looking at every angle, right? They're looking at every angle and they're trying to assess the situation. But for me, when I see it in the reversal, it's someone who doesn't want to give up some type of control. They need to be in control. They're not trusting certain situation. They don't want to let go. They don't want to hear what the universe is trying to tell them, right? Universe could have been trying to tell you, you know, a million times over and over, this situation is not going to work, and you're just not willing to let go of this. So this is where the Ten of Cups comes in. So where you are, you know, willing to give it one more shot, Ten of Cups is in reverse to where it might be nothing that is left there, to where it also feels like illusions, right? Coulda, woulda, shoulda, I dreamed this, I want this, but it's not happening the way that you want it to happen. And the Knight of Cups is, you know, your person does come in, and this is where you get confused, is because your person, they wine and they dine you, they charm you, and they give you everything that you want, but he's also got a horse in the back, which indicates to me is like when he's done with you, he's going to get on that horse and he's going to ride off. He's going to leave regardless, right? So I feel like this one in particular situation is showing that this relationship might actually be over because you're struggling. You're going back and forth and you're kind of hoping that this person has more to give you, but this person really doesn't. The spirit guides and angels, what is your advice? All right, so spirit, you know, they have a funny way of saying things, and I really do hope those ones, you guys, the ones of you that can read intuitively are understanding what I'm putting down. Because in my cards, I have the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the Queen of Pentacles for me, I have yes cards and I have no cards, right? The Queen and the Sun, to me, represent the yes card, right? And then the Devil for me is the no card. So for me, Spirit is saying yes, that in this relationship that you have, there's a spark. There's something that is there. But the Five of Cups is you need to let go of this situation. You need to let it go because there is love that is right there. There's a love that is willing to come in. There's a love that is willing to be there that is so strong. But you have to let go of this situation, and it's not going to come until you learn to let go. So let this time around be that time that you make your decision on whether, you know, this relationship is for you or not. But Spirit is telling you that, you know, enjoy the moment as it lasts. Doesn't mean that you have to end the relationship in anger, but you do have to know when to bow out gracefully. So I'm going to leave this here, and we are going to jump into the Capricorn, which the Capricorn, you guys have a lot going on because you have 3 major arcana cards, 1, 2, 3, and like I said, I'm gonna hold them up, just give me a minute. But with major arcana cards, they're telling me this is divine. Divine is working with you. Divine is stepping in. Divine is going to help you. Okay? Because now, in the background, right, we have pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. So there's something that the universe is trying to tell you about a certain situation that you're in, and you need to pay attention, right? Even if you look, there is a person that looks like a spirit. She is like transparent, I think that's how you say it, and it's almost like a ghost. Like she's like trying to send you signals. She's trying to tell you like, hey, keep your eyes open, I need you to see something. And you know, they start to send you, you know, warning signs. And you know, there is a message that comes, and it says, I look for you everywhere, we will be together again. So maybe it's your person, or someone is trying to tell you like, you know, we're gonna be together again, don't worry, like we're gonna find each other. This could be what you're trying to tell someone, or it could be what your person is trying to tell you. You're in a situation though where you might not be seeing this or feeling this because you're stuck in a situation, but you know, it's like universe is trying to give you warnings, so you're not seeing something is just not clicking here. Now, the Hierophant, you could be dealing with a Taurus. Then we have the Moon, you could be dealing with a Pisces. We have Temperance, you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, and you could also, we have fire in here, so it could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius that you can be dealing with. All right, so the Hierophant talks about tradition and stability, where the Moon talks about intuition and dreams. So you might, I feel like this is like almost like it's like 2 types of energies that are coming at me. I feel like you need to go with tradition. You need to listen to what your intuition is telling you, because in what you're understanding, your belief is bringing you more stability. Now, Capricorns are very, very good at being grounded. You guys are very, very good at being leaders, and it's time that you start listening to your heart. So if you're stuck in a situation that is not working for you, it's time for you to, you know, listen to all the warning signs. Stop playing with your heart and listen to your warning signs. The moon shows, and I always see the moon as like a blockage. I see it as in a spiritual blockage. But the moon is intuition and dreams. So it's time, like I say, it's time for you to start listening to yourself. Also, the moon, I look at it as in two people that need to go on their own paths. So two separate people need to move away from each other. Doesn't mean that you have to move away out of anger again. But it also can be that, you know, maybe you're separating with someone and like you look for this person, you can, you know, you hear this person in music, you hear this person, you know, with a breeze that comes by or a certain scent, you're thinking about this person. And, you know, it doesn't mean that maybe, you know, right now is not for you, but it, you know, it can tell you also that maybe in another lifetime you guys can be back together. But there's something that the both of you need to move on because you're not learning. So the Temperance here speaks of balance and doing things in moderation, right? Because the Two of Wands talks about can be blockages, but it's setting boundaries as well, to where you guys need to set certain type of boundaries and you can't cross those boundaries. So when you do things in moderation as well, it's like don't push it too much, because there's a boundary there and you might be crossing that. So I'm going to leave this here and let's dig a little bit deeper and see where this is going, because I feel like boundaries work both ways. If your person is telling you they're done, then you need to understand it. If your person is telling you or they're putting in a boundary, then you need to respect that boundary just as much as you would want your person to respect your type of boundary. Okay, so spirit guides and angels. Okay, so I don't know if this is a he said, she said type of energy. I don't know, you know, what is going on within your life, and I am always curious to know, because you have the, you know, the Empress is in reverse. Empress should always be upright. Empress is a birth of a brand new idea. Empress is, you know, moving forward. It's really good fortune. It's, you know, it's like the wheel, to me at least. I feel like that. But it's in reverse, which indicates to me is like things are slowing down for you. Maybe things feel like they're stuck. There's nothing new. Nothing is going to change in the relationship that you're in right now, because you're not willing to let go of it. So right now at the Fool, it's like you keep saying that you're gonna jump. You know, you like she's getting ready to jump, and it's like you keep saying you're gonna jump. You keep saying you're going to move forward, but you're not really. You know, it's like you're breadcrumbing. And who are you lying to? You're lying to no one but yourself. So it's saying like either do it or don't do it. And I think that's where the, you know, Two of Wands comes from. It's like working on boundaries, because it's like right now it kind of feels like we're hurling words at each other, but nothing is really getting done. No one is moving. No one is, you know, doing anything that they're saying that they're going to do. So that's where, you know, I think Divine is stepping in, because they're telling you like, we can only do so much for you. But now it's up to you. You need to start watching your red flags. You know, start paying attention to your intuition. Because even if you know something and you're not doing something about it, then you're in denial. So spirit guides and angels, please give us some advice. So the advice that Spirit is giving you, I think you are going to need to block someone, or, you know, because it feels like you're drowning. There's secrecy. There's lots and lots of secrets that you're not seeing. There's things that are going on behind the scene that maybe universe is working on. It just feels like someone that no matter what they do, they'll never reach the surface. You're in over your head. Page of Cups is there is a message, and you know, it's like Spirit is trying to put someone in front of you. They're trying to give you someone, but you're so busy drowning that you're not seeing who Spirit is trying to put in front of you. So it's like you take your bags. It's a lot of pressure that is being, you know, put on you. Maybe you have to, you know, you guys haven't made a move, you and your partner, because there's a pressure of, you know, maybe there is, I hear something about loans. I hear it could be something about your living situation, could be something about your family. You know, you're just not willing to split. So it feels like if you stay in this type of energy, you're not going to move. You're like, nothing is going to change. You're going to be in stagnant energy to where things are going to get really tough for you. So Spirit cannot put someone in front of you if you're not willing to see that person. So when you're willing, you open up your heart. You tell Spirit, you tell universe, I am willing and ready to receive. But you have to really, really be willing and ready to do the work. All right, so I leave this, you know, message with you guys. I really do hope that you enjoyed this. And like I always say, I cannot thank you all enough for watching, listening, following, commenting. Everything that you guys do helps me. So please continue to do it. I love you all, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye.